It was just so funny.
Shoot again.
Shoot it. Here he comes. Shoot it. Shoot it. Shoot it.
And then you're sitting there right-handed, right? So you take your shot, and then that thing's still running towards us. So I see you pull out the blind and come and pull it out the side window. And as it's coming through, boom, drop it right.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Cast&Blast podcast. I'm your host, Pinche with my co-host, Jimmy Trent.
Me.
That's what's up. Hey, welcome to another episode, guys. We've been after it, huh, Jimmy?
Yeah, we've been getting ready, and it's paying off. It's mid-September. The rut's hard and heavy right now. Turkeys are gobbling.
Yeah.
None of that shit's true. But
no, none of that's happening.
Anybody watching this is probably like,
yeah, they're full of shit.
Right. Mid-September, Central Texas? Yeah. No, not really. We're joking. But, yeah, we've been getting ready. We've been getting ready.
Yeah. I mean, we have been getting ready. We're putting a lot of work on to get the blinds ready, get the feeders ready, corn in the feeders, timers set. Our cameras are picking up our game and everything. Everything's moving about. We're starting to pattern them up. Been seeing a lot of pigs and stuff.
Yeah, we put out some more mineral sites. We a little late in the game to be putting out the mineral sites, but we got them out there now, and they'll continue to produce over the years. But you were talking about corn. We were out there the other day, and we were checking cameras, and we were busy. We weren't keeping up with time, or not keeping track of time. And remember, we was up there. A coon had got on one of those cages, kind of messing with it, and it was right at feed time.
The cage.
Yeah, the cage. Yeah. So I'm trying to wire that cage back up, and you're over there messing with something too, and that feeder went off. Dude, man, I've been shot at, mortared, rocketed, whatever.
Yeah.
And that
nothing popped you off like that did, huh?
Corn flat at your face, when you're not expecting it. Yeah, that got me.
Yeah, that got you pretty good. I mean, it caught us all by surprise. Everybody was like, ah.
Yeah, dude, I jumped. I thought I was going to.
Angel was out there with us.
Yeah.
We don't have Angel right now with us working the camera, so bear with us as I'm live producing here. Normally, Angel's behind the scenes working the cameras, and today he's actually putting in some work.
Yeah, he's doing his too.
Him and his missus, they're out there doing some work on their property. So pretty exciting for him and the stuff they got going on, man. They got some beautifying of their home. So it's just a beautiful home already.
That's what I was going to say, but talk about how beautiful it already is.
Yeah, so they got that work going on. He got out there with us when we were putting up the tree stand and all that stuff, and we got a lot of work done that day. So we've been doing some improvements on the property. We've been doing some improvements to the blinds, tree stands, feeders,
and moving to new locations based off things that we've seen last year and some this year. Just get them moved to what we think are better prime spots.
Yeah, based off wind and all that stuff. We have different setups for different winds.
Try
and
something a little different, shake it up a little.
Yeah, so man, I think our hunters and our clients that come out with us this season are actually going to be open to the improvements we made. We got some more comfortable chairs in the blinds. We're doing some of that stuff. We're still got a lot of work going on, but
dude, I'm pumped. I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm ready.
We got a chance to sit in the blind the other day for the first time and have a good time, didn't we?
Yeah, we sure did.
Yeah,
we did. It was a good time.
Yeah, we had we fenced in.
Yeah, we put a fence or corral around some of the feeders because pigs and cows have been. I mean, hell, we had feeders staked in and pigs still knocking them over. So it's an ongoing battle, but yeah,
we're fighting the drought. We're fighting the either droughts, floods, hogs,
cows,
coons,
ourselves,
fighting ourselves. So yeah, man, and we've had a lot of good times getting ready for the season. We're really looking forward to this hunting season. Yeah. Putting people on some whitetail. It's getting right around the corner, ain't it?
Man, a couple weeks, right? A couple weeks, and
it's crazy.
You know, I think we're going to open our opener around 14 October.
Yeah, we're pushing it out a little bit, giving things time to settle.
Yep.
We have a lot of hunters contacting us already, and we're getting things lined up.
Yeah, and that's what pumps me up is them reaching out and saying, "Man, we had such a good time with you guys last year. When can I book my hunt?
Yeah.
When can I book my hunt?"
That says a lot about what we're doing. You know, for you guys, we operate on a low fence, free range management program where we are putting people on hunts, and we don't guarantee any kind of there's no guarantee.
Man, we guarantee a good time.
We guarantee a good time. That's it.
Yeah.
And that's all we do. And we try our hardest to put people on an experience that they won't forget, whether it's sitting in a blind or out there spotting and stalking. So if you're watching now, man, I hope to have you guys come out and hunt with us, man. Get at us at info@Cast&Blast Outfitters and reach out to us via email, and we'll get back to you, and maybe we can put you on a hunt. But what else been going on, man?
Man, just, you know, prepping, not only prepping mentally too. So that took a toll on us last year. We ended up, a lot of folks waited to hunt since we go into the end of February. A lot of folks hunted
till the end of February.
Yeah. Well, they waited. Rather hunting, or I don't know if they were hunting private land, public land, whatever the case was. A lot of folks, one, either wanted more meat, or two, hadn't tagged out or shot a deer yet. So at the end of February, it was like the floodgates open.
Why don't you expand upon that when you talk about like hunting other places? Like what's the benefit of hunting on a management program, you know, using our tags or whatever? You know, a lot of hunters don't have the idea behind coming out to a management program.
Well, yeah, they don't. And I think Texas is pretty unique to that. I'm sure there's other states out there that do it, but I'm not privy to it. You know, not the way the program is ran in Texas on a conservation effort.
Right.
So I'll circle into that. But I think what happens is there's a couple of different factors why people come to hunt with us. I think the first factor is they either tag out all of their tags, and, you know, there's a lot of meat eaters in Texas. So people say, well, you can get 460 or whatever the case is, county in Texas. Who's going to eat that much deer? Well, people do. I mean, you can go through a deer pretty quick. So they may fill those freezers and say, hey, I want more deer. So they start looking at the conservation efforts, the MLD tags and things like that. They filled their tags, and they say, hey, let me go get this, you know, conservation deer. And that's what we specialize in, is conservation deer. And what that does is it helps the state as a whole, the count. I mean, it starts on a property size management,
right?
But overall, what it does is help manage the county and state deer populations within a reasonable numbers,
right,
based off what, you know, biologists are seeing and counting in different areas throughout the state. But it gives us a good time, right? I mean, it gives them a good time, and it gives us an opportunity to give a good time and to show what, you know, what it's all about. And we preach, you know, every time people come out, we talk about the conservation efforts and preaching behind it of
ethical hunts and all that stuff. Yeah.
How important that program really is. And it's fun. And not only is it, you know, whitetail, people come out for a whitetail hunt, but how many times is, you know, you're seeing so many different animals and species interact. And I think that's what's really good out on that property, is everything that it does hold, and how you see that, you see that ecosystem working together. It's cool. It's neat. And, you know, we point out a lot of stuff to people when they come out that they're like, oh man, I never knew that. I didn't notice that. I didn't know that was a part of why this animal does that or whatever. So it's cool.
And that's something that we try to do, is kind of like the experience along with widen their horizons when they're out hunting with us. Like, for instance, you know, we got a lot of hunters that want to get out and spot and stalk, right? Mm-hmm. And that's cool. And we can put people on that kind of experience. And that's kind of what we love to do.
Prefer.
But here in Texas, there's a lot of hunting out of the blind, right? Hunting over feeder. Right?
Yeah, I think that's the main, I think that's the Texas way of hunting.
You could say that. And what we're doing is we're showing people, not only in this type of hunting, you're sitting in a blind, you're looking over a feeder, we widen their horizons, you know, and be like, look beyond the feeder. we never sit a feeder up against a tree line, so to speak, you know. So we got them set up to where we increase the chance of the animals coming out if we're drawing them towards the feeder.
Yeah, we talked about that. I mean, the way we have it set up is we have it set up for a higher success rate.
Yeah.
And because anybody that pays for a hunt, there's an expectation there. So we have to level that playing field to give them that expectation. Do we have it set up the way I would personally hunt it? We don't. I mean, is it set up the way you would personally hunt it?
I mean, we have to accommodate the hunter, right? They're exactly, the paid client, and we're trying to give them the best opportunity to come through on filling that tag. They come out and they're using one of our management tags, right? They pay for that tag. They want to fill it, and they want to put meat in the freezer and go home with an experience, and we're trying to increase those odds. And I think the way we have it set up is in our favor.
It is. That's why it's set up like that. You know, people will hear this and say, why you set it up the way you would not hunt? They're going to look at me crazy and cross-eyed. It's not my style, but I know the style, I'm familiar with it, and it's very successful.
It's been proven to be successful, so we're going to stick with it, right?
It's the most successful, I think, you know.
Right.
So we're setting them up, you know.
I think when you are a paid hunter and you say, hey, this is my intent. I want to come out. I want to hunt with you guys. I want to have a good time. I want to put meat in the cooler. I want to drive home with my game. That gives us the expectation, right? Mm-hmm. So we already know what we got to do to put them and fulfill that, you know, we'll say an obligation. We're obligated to give them that experience. The way we have things set up is to increase those odds for their success. So I think for that reason, it's proven to be, we're doing it right. It has been,
it is proven.
Now, are we claiming to be any kind of experts at anything? Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, we...
Don't say it, Ben. Okay, say it.
As a matter of fact, as experts, we have... we've missed a shot or two out there.
Or 3 or 4.
Well, no, I mean... we were out this week sitting in the blind, and a couple of boars came out. Man, that was a good showing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was. You know, before you say this too, we sound kind of hypocritical because, you know, in the past we've talked about make sure you do your checklist, you do this, you do X, Y, and Z. And I'm not going to say what X, Y, and Z is yet because they're about to find out what X, Y, and Z is that we didn't do, you know.
Well, I can tell you what we did. And what we did was we had a good time.
Yep.
We rarely get a chance to sit in the blind and enjoy that ourselves. We're always trying to put hunters in and get them on. So there's a lot of work, mm-hmm. right, leading up to that. And then when we get them in the blind, now we're out in the field and we're glassing and we're trying to, you know, see if we see something pattern. Maybe we can go out there and move something their way. There's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes as we have hunters in the blind, or we got someone set up in postured up in the trees or something like that. So we're still on a level of work. It's not just go out there and sit down and hang out. Now, do we get a chance to sit down in the woods and take a little break? Yeah, and we enjoy that. But sitting in a blind, I don't think we've had a chance to do that yet.
No, that the day that this past weekend when we sat in that blind, and I think you mentioned it then, you said, man, after all this time, this is the first time me and you sit in a blind together and we were doing we were kind of there doing an observation sit, and we were like, while we're here, let's have fun though.
Oh, we ain't gonna sit without a rifle in our hands, you know. So with that said, I had a rifle and you had a pistol, right? Talk about the pistol.
So the pistol, it's a Thompson Contender with a Leupold 3x9 scope on it, 22 Hornet. It was chambered 22 Hornet, but you know the Contenders, they have the swap out barrels, but this particular one had 22 Hornet. And it was a gun given to me by my dad a long time ago, and I've shot a lot of animals with it. But what I've never shot with it, never tried, was a pig.
And you wanted to go out there with your bow that day, but you ended up taking this pistol.
Yeah,
I'm glad you did.
I was like, I've shot plenty of pigs with my bow, but I've never shot one with this particular pistol. And I was like, I want to shoot one with this. And so we were sitting in this blind, and this blind is
about 100 yards.
It's 90. I think when I ranged it,
you ranged it,
96 yards, right? So for some, a 96 yard with a pistol may not be too tough, but for me, it's not it's not an easy shot. But I thought I felt confident enough that I could do it. with the shooting sticks and, you know, not free-handed.
Yeah, that would have been tough.
But time proved differently.
Even though you had a shooting stick, it was still, because I tried to acquire a target with that. Just you were like, man, see how hard it is to steady on a target, you know? And I did, and I was like, wow, man, it's a little tough, you know, having a pistol out at, you know, arm, you know, posture, your normal shooting position. That scope to pick up a good sight picture, you have to be that far.
Yep.
So typically when you're hunting with a rifle or something that scope's a little closer to you, you can get up. See how I did that? I held it like right-handed, but you know that's off. Wronger than two boys fucking on the White House lawn right there. But
which
I call it wrong.
I think that's happening too often now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we ought to really start a anyway. I know what you're saying. You're going, we need to talk about that, don't we?
I don't even think they're on the lawn anymore. I think they're in it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, man, long story short, pig came out. You took a shot with a pistol. You missed.
Yeah, unfortunately missed.
We're like, okay, well, there's that. Pretty loud.
No, I will say I'm aiming small, miss small because I knew that I had a 22 Hornet. That's not a very big round especially for big game.
Right,
like
you were taking a headshot right behind the ear, probably.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep, exactly.
So if we missed, you probably shot, I don't know, right above it or something like that. Me, on the other hand,
here we go.
I had an AR sighted in, what I thought was sighted in, and I do remember taking it to the range. Shout out Sentinel Shooting Sports. I took it down there and sighted in. I sighted in with a IR add-on where I can see at night. And that was the last sighting I did. I believe I did that at 25 yards just to see if I could see through my scope because it's an add-on. It's not an IR thermal or nothing. It just goes behind my fixed scope. I use my actual crosshairs on my scope, and I just lined that up to where I got a good sight picture. And I put some rounds downrange, trying to be conservative, just trying to make sure I was good. I was in the kill zone. I was like, all right, I'm good to go. I didn't spend a lot of time, like, you know, zeroing in at 100 yards.
I felt like it was good. I mean,
I felt like it was good. I brought it out, took those shots, and at about 100 yards, I was shooting low. And I missed that pig and a bonus coyote that came out. So I wasn't expecting that.
Well, how crazy was that? We were
pretty cool, man.
Yeah, we were. So I'd already missed that one pig, and I told you, I was like, man, I really want to shoot a pig with this pistol. And I didn't feel as confident at that time. And I'm like, Ben, you shoot now. So then we were both kind of looking, and I seen a coyote coming out of the corner of my eye. And I was like, Ben, there's a coyote too. Let's 1, 2, 3 these. You shoot the pig and I'll shoot the coyote, because the coyote was probably only 20 yards. And
hey, man, we just had a camera come offline, dude. So we're going to continue this podcast using this camera angle that we have now. It's that camera angle. So we're going to continue this podcast in that, if you don't mind maybe adjusting your seat where you're a little bit more in focus. So we'll adapt. We'll overcome.
No, I think that one came offline.
Right. So we're going to use that camera angle there.
I thought you were saying that one came off.
No, this one came offline. But the good thing is that we had it fixed on this camera. So, hey, guys, working through some technical difficulties here, adapting and making it work. So you're still in the scene.
Where's Angel when we need him?
I know, man. Cool. So no more changing the camera angle. We'll just keep on this conversation and go.
Just roll with it.
So we were out looking. The first boar came out. We took the shot. You were really
well, the second one, right?
The second boar came out. That's when I was.
That's when you were getting ready, but that's when that coyote come out too.
You saw the coyote as you were glassing. I was actually fixed on trying to wait for that pig to give me a good shot.
Right.
And he was kind of behind the feeder. If you remember, it was like right behind that feeder leg. He was just sitting there. You know, pigs. They don't stay still, man.
No, they
and he was just kind of moving around. I was just kind of like being patient, waiting. And you're all there. I see a coyote. Right. And I was just like, I don't see it. I'm staring at the thing. And I kind of looked. I still didn't see it from outside the scope. So I'm sitting there staring at this pig, man. And I got it, I'm right out that window. I wasn't using a shooting stick. No, because I had the sticks. That's right. So I'm just staring out the window. And I got a pretty steady firing position from what I felt like I was comfortable taking that shot. And then you're like, I see a coyote. And then I think you said, I see mama behind it.
Yeah, it was a coyote and 2 pups.
Yeah, so I didn't see the pups. I didn't see, all I saw was the pig.
Yeah.
So I'm looking straight at this pig, and I'm like, I'm waiting for it to give me that. I want to get that good shot. I don't want to hit the feeder, obviously.
And we sat there and watched that pig for a while, just waiting to see if more would come in.
Sure, and I'm staring at this pig through my scope, and then I see gray. I saw the coyote come across. As soon as I see that, I pulled the trigger. No, I'm going to take the coyote down because we're trying to get him off the property.
Yeah.
So I thought, I'm going to shoot this coyote. It's going to go through the coyote, and I'm going to hit the pig. Hopefully, I knock them both down. It was kind of like, take your shot.
Yeah, like try it.
And I missed. And I saw the coyote run off one direction. I saw the pig run the other. So, romp, romp, romp.
But we decided to sit there.
Yeah,
again.
we were.
I mean, eventful even. If this doesn't tell you how many animals we have, I mean, pigs, deer, coyotes.
Armadillos, two armadillos sitting there fighting.
Yeah, out there. Dude, did you see them? They were like back scratching and shit.
Yeah, they were kind of like barrel rolling or something.
I don't know what the hell they were doing, but they were fun to watch.
Hey, man, that's cool Texas wildlife.
I thought they were going to crawl in the blind.
Bro, one of them did. Yeah. One of them was sitting there scratching by me. I was like, get away.
Being too loud.
Yeah, but that was fun, man. We had a good time. You ended up shooting that one pig that ran, almost joined us in our blind as well.
Yeah, that was funny. So we sat there for a little bit later, or a little bit longer, and like, well, shit, here comes another pig.
Yeah.
And I'd missed with the pistol. You'd missed.
I was
with
pissed
the rifle.
off.
You were like, oh, I'm done with this shit. Just shoot that pig. And I was like, all right, man, I'll shoot it. So I pulled the gun up. Same thing. We watched this pig for a long time too, and we're like,
didn't we say in the beginning of this podcast and journey that we were going to share with you wins, fails, laughs, cries, and all alike? And this is just kind of one of them real stories, man. I ain't trying to claim to be, you know where I'm getting at. I mean, this shit happens, man.
It does. I mean, we talked about complacency, and that's where some of this has come down.
Yeah.
But had it been, if we were out on a and not taking anything away from the life of a pig or a coyote or something like that, but had it been a hunt for like a big trophy buck, we wouldn't have went in half stepping like that.
No,
we
man,
I'm more prepared.
There ain't no way especially if you're paying and you're doing that kind of stuff and it's management, all that. You're going to do that. We just had the rifles with us.
We truck guns and stuff with. We were just out for a good time. But yeah, that last pig come out, and we watched it. Yeah, and you were like, "Man, I'm done. Just shoot this pig." And I was like,
"How many rifles or weapons did we have in the truck that day?"
We had 9 in there that day.
we just like load up and go.
We had 3 shotguns, 3 pistols, 1 AR, a 22.
That's right.
And
my 9mm.
Oh, in the Ruger,
the Ruger carabine,
the PC9 or whatever.
Yeah, PC9, yeah.
So 9 guns in there.
I mean, we
shot 4 rounds. I don't remember. We did
4 rounds.
We shot 2 guns. That's it.
And you got the that pig. So talk about that.
Well, yeah. So we were watching that pig, and finally, I put it up there, and I'm dead on him, right behind the ear. And I said, Ben, this thing's on at 100 yards, huh? And he's like, yeah, I think it is. All right, man. So I squeezed it off, and that pig started kind of running around, but he didn't know where it was coming from. He didn't know where the shot was. So he's running around. I squeezed off another shot. And I'm like, damn, I missed it.
And I'm glassing, dude. So I'm watching this thing from your first shot through my binos.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shoot again. Because I see it moving, and this pig had no idea where we were.
I'm in my head. I'm trying to calculate. I'm not the best shot, but I'm a pretty decent shot. Like I'm okay.
I don't claim to be the best, but I don't think you and I miss like that.
Yeah. So in my head, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, well, shit, where do I need to aim for this pig? And all this shit's going through my mind at the same time. And I'm like, I think this gun's shooting low. And I think you mentioned it too. Yeah. You're looking in your binos.
Yeah, because I see where you shot low, shoot again, and then you shot it. This time it's running towards us.
Like dead beeline.
Yeah. I mean, this thing's coming straight towards us. And we're in this about a 5.5 foot pop-up blind on the ground. And it's down in a little bit of a...
Yeah, we got it in a little dip.
Yeah, perfect cover, man.
Yeah.
And it was obviously that good of cover that this pig is just coming straight towards us, dude, trying to run for safety.
It was just so funny.
Shoot again.
Shoot it. Here he comes. Shoot it. Shoot it. Shoot it.
And then you're sitting there right-handed, right? So you take your shot, and then that thing's still running towards us. So I see you pull out the blind and come and pull it out the side window. And as it's coming through, boom, drop it right there.
Yeah, dead sprint right out the side window.
Good shot.
Shot him right behind, shot him in the ear.
Within 25 yards, that thing's on.
Yeah, within 25 yards. And
I won't.
I don't think you could see out that window.
Nah.
And I shot, and I just seen that pig, ass over end and roll over. And I was like, we got him, Ben.
Yeah.
He's like, what? Yeah, it's good at 25. At 100?
Shooting
so much.
Shooting low. But, I'll take that thing and go get it sighted in at 100 yards just to be – because that's kind of like a pig hunting. That's perfect for pig hunting.
Yeah, that's a good pig hunting gun. Well, hell, we came home.
I don't use that for shooting deer, so it's just, it was just in the truck, man. Just
great for coyotes, too.
Yeah.
We both decided to order new scopes, too. We're like,
we did.
I broke one of mine last year, so, yeah, I got to replace it.
Yeah, well, with these scopes, you won't have to worry about replacing because they got a great warranty.
Shout out to
Vortex. So, yeah, we went Vortex. I ordered a scope. You ordered a scope. We'll have those in a few days. We'll go get those sighted in.
Yeah, we'll go get those sighted in, and hopefully we won't have another one of these stories.
Nah, man. But not that we're going to share with you, at least. Nah.
Yeah. We, like you said, we said it in the beginning. We'll be honest and share whatever.
What do I got to lose? A reputation of being the best or anything? I don't have that reputation.
Never claimed it to begin with.
So, I mean, we're just having a good time sharing stories with you guys. These podcasts are sometimes informative. Sometimes we're just here shooting the shit with you. Sometimes we're sharing a guest who has great information that is, could be of value to you, like the game wardens and having them on.
Speaking of guests, and it's one thing that we haven't talked about much on this podcast is waterfowl hunting.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe
this would be a good time to do it.
Yeah, it'd be a good time to do it.
We have Caden, our duck hunting expert. I would call him
I was going to say, we may not be a professional or an expert at what we do, but this young man is.
This young man is a stud. He's the one that put me on the duck hunting. He's who I've bought my bird dog from. Luna is a product of Cactus Rose.
Yeah, he's a dog trainer too, right?
Yeah. Cactus Rose Labradors. Look them up. If you guys are looking for a champion line breeder, they are proven and tested, all hunt test champions. They're champion bloodline Labradors. And Luna was some of their first bloodlines. I have some. She's an OG, and she was the runt, and nobody wanted her. And
dude, she's awesome though.
She's
cool.
What, 45, 50 pounds? She's a tiny little lab.
She is small for a lab.
I love it.
She's cool.
I love it that she's that small, because if she was as big as the labs that Kaden and Olivia are surrounded by on a regular at their house, I don't know where I'd fit her.
So Caden's coming. He's going to be in the area this weekend. So we're gonna try to sit him down. He's busy. He's coming in
showing dogs at the expo.
Dogs. Yeah,
and you guys are in the area, go check out the booth at the Expo Center, Bell County. They're going to be showing some of their dogs, and
hopefully he gets a break, and we'll be able to set him down and be like, man, spread the knowledge.
Yeah, man, we can bring him on, talk a little duck hunting. It's a perfect time for it. Mm-hmm. And maybe you guys can learn a little something from Caden. We're definitely picking his brain as we prepare for possibly bringing people on duck hunts, and Caden will be guiding those guys and making sure they have a good experience.
So I'm looking forward to learning something from him. I've been vocal about, I don't know shit about duck hunting. I've done some duck hunting, popping over ponds, and
all my duck hunting has been with him.
Yeah.
And my wife, she's hooked, going with him, having one experience. Angel came out with him, I think 2 years ago, had a great experience. And every time we've all gone out with him, we limit within like the first 10 minutes. Yeah. Like we're just, and if it wasn't for him, I'd keep shooting, but he keeps me right.
Yeah.
Hey, stop, we've hit our limit, and it's just amazing how duck hunters can tell the difference by looking at, the way their feet hang, their flight pattern, the color of their bellies, like
what they are by the way they sound coming in.
Sure. Sometimes it's still kind of dark, and he can tell, be like, oh, those are, mallards. Those are, you know, canvasbacks or whatever. And he'll be like, you know, let's hold off and watch them do this, you know. So he's definitely knowledgeable. He's been hunting, I would say, professionally, because I mean, he was probably sponsored by Ducks Unlimited when he was 8 years old.
He's definitely, like, you know, a steward of the sport.
Yeah, for sure.
And I mean, you get him talking about it, man. You can tell he gets pumped, man. He's
passionate
like,
about it.
Do it.
And going out with him, man, that talk about not missing that dude. I've never seen him get on the backside of a duck. Like he's got that down.
We'll have to get him in the seat. And then if there's anything that any of you want to know about duck hunting,
yeah, comment on this video. Comment down below if there's a duck hunting question you have. We'll get that answered for you on the next podcast.
I'm going to have plenty of them because I do want to do it, but I don't know.
Yeah. Do you want to see some calls? Do you want to see? Do you want to talk about?
Oh, that's good. Get him to do some calls.
Maybe we can get him to do some calls if, you know, we get him to talk about different.
Talk about identification. I think that's a big deal. You know, that's another reason I don't like to duck hunt is because there's so much identification and they're fast movers, man. They're little jet airplanes flying through the air, and you gotta
much fun, dude.
You gotta know what they are.
You would have so much fun, and you know, conversely to, you know, in comparison to dove hunting, there's a lot of meat. You know what I mean? Where like you say, well, it's not really worth to me, you know, knocking down that bird for the amount of harvest you have.
It's not only that. I'm not a fan of the meat itself.
I know the total background of why you don't prefer it, and that's to each their own, right? And duck hunting too can be that way. People think that duck is you know, gamey, fishy, and all that stuff because they're eating fish. Well, it depends on where you're harvesting your ducks, where they're flying, what they're eating. And maybe we'll let Caden expand on that, you know, when we get him on the podcast. I think that'll be good for everybody watching. You know, like I said, if you do have some questions, anything duck hunting related, whether it's hunting with a dog, hunting without a dog, wader, a certain type, you know, any kind of questions related to it, I can tell you this: it's not cheap.
Not only duck hunting, though. I mean, anything that.
Oh yeah,
we could, you know. I think that we're pretty well versed in dove, hog, turkey, and whitetail, you know.
Yeah, you guys got questions for us, let us know in the comments, man, and we'll address them on the next podcast. But
whether it's hunting, preparation, gear.
It's hunting season right now, if you can't tell.
I know.
Our minds are kind of like, we got tunnel vision. But fishing too, man. We've been known to do a little bit of fishing.
Yeah, we can wet a hook.
It is called the Cast and Blast podcast, and that's what it's about, man. Fishing and hunting, anything in between.
We were just talking about getting back out on the water.
Yeah,
so if a little bit of water's left.
If you're in the Central Texas area, you're living the life we're living, and that's low water lines.
Yeah, it's definitely not water world around here.
No, man. Right now,
it's more like Mad Max than water world.
Bro, those pictures of Frank's Marina, man. Out of Belton Lake.
Yeah.
There's boats that are not even in water right now.
Yeah, they're not. I think they're in dust, not even mud.
So there's people that have left their boats parked at the marina and those slips that are no longer sitting in water. Those ramps are dry docks that are just on the ground. You know, there's no floating ramps down there. 75% of the boat ramps in this area are shut down because there's no way to get in the water from that boat ramp.
The ramp ends and it just turns into a mud flat.
Yeah. And the gates to those ramps are just shut down.
Yeah, they're closed.
Thankful for that because you'd make your way all the way down there and then be like, what the hell? But yeah, man, I mean, it's kind of depressing looking at that water, how short or how low our water table is. On these lakes.
Hopefully we'll be lucky. They said it's supposed to be a really wet winter, so hopefully we'll recover a lot of that, you know, in the next few months.
It's definitely a record low.
While it's hunting season, I mean, that's a good time to recover that water. So I hope that it does happen.
Personally, I do a lot less hunting or a lot less fishing during hunting season. A lot of my friends know that, and they'd be like, "Hey."
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So
yeah,
but yeah, man, if you guys are out there and you're having some of those experiences, drop them in the comments. Let us know how the water's looking where you're at. If your fishing is good, I'll tell you this, that surprisingly, despite our turnout in the birds where we hunt, in Texas, the public areas have been doing pretty good. The Dove report is pretty good right now.
It is.
It's so surprising because where we're at, last year, the dove where you couldn't take a step without flushing.
You could shoot a damn slingshot and hit a dove somewhere.
It was crazy. And that was the reason why we had put together the Cast and Blast event that we were planning for this year. We opted to just tell everybody the dove hunting report wasn't looking good, and we canceled the event due to the weather drying up the ponds where we were going to fish.
Yo, share the we don't got to share the name of the outfitter.
Oh man.
But share, it made us feel better about us reaching out and canceling.
Yeah, so as an outfitter, you have an obligation to come through with your part of the deal, right? The clients are paying for
there's
an
an understanding.
Yeah, I've paid for a hunt. I've paid for fishing charters and all that stuff. You get out there now, we do know nothing is guaranteed. No outfitter, no charter is saying, I'm going to guarantee you're going to catch this many fish, or I'm going to guarantee you harvest this animal. In our case, we had a Cast and Blast event scheduled for opening, dove season opener, and we had invited everybody out to come and do a first light to noon dove hunt, and then from noon to 4, we were going to cater and have everybody.
Yeah, we had a big, huge event planned.
Yeah, we had all kinds of things set up, and the fishing was going to be good because we got about 3 ponds on the property with about roughly about 9 acre ponds when they're at capacity.
Yeah, the Lord, yeah.
And the water was we've been suffering a drought here, and our ponds dried up so much that they went from about 9 acres to roughly 3 acres, and of that 3 acres is about a 30-foot moss edge of these ponds. So, we were sending out emails to our clients that were booked. We had 40 people scheduled to come out and hunt with us and do the Cast and Blast event. We had all kinds of volunteers, all kinds of the game wardens were going to come out and have a good time and do some, shaking hands with people and all that stuff.
We put a lot of time, work, and effort in this, but we had to cancel.
We canceled.
Why
we canceled because we felt it was the right thing to do.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd rather be upfront and honest with the clients ahead and give them. But we also gave the hunters.
We gave options.
We gave options. We don't have to go into details of what, but we basically wanted to get the client's feedback. Hey, this is the report. We're being honest. This is about 2 weeks ahead of time. We did a 4-week report and then a 2-week report.
Yeah.
At 2 weeks, that's when we decided to pull the plug. And when we did that, we got a lot of positive feedback from the people who were like, man, that says a lot about you guys that you were being honest. You were saying that you could have easily just taken our money. We show up. There's not no birds.
And I'm so glad that we did that after reading what you sent me today.
So this morning I woke up to a text from my wife. She shared with me a post she saw on Texas Dove Hunters. I think it was a post on their.
I don't remember the group, but
it was posted to a page.
I want to find it so that we can say what group. I'm not going to say who it is or what it is.
Yeah, so we found a post where a client basically shared kind of like a pissed off rant on how bad their experience was on a particular outfitter. They name the outfitter. They say exactly who it was. Don't book with these guys. We paid for a large group to come out. We showed up. They sent us out. They set us out to this field that there was no birds. Out of the group that showed up, none of us saw one bird. They all paid X amount of dollars to come out and shoot. Now, I know there's no guarantee, guys, but there is somewhat of an expectation. Needless to say, the moral of the story is that they did not share the hunting report and say, hey, man, it's not looking good this year. There's this and that. And these guys showed up with an expectation, and it ended up backfiring because...
I'm going to read this without the names.
All right, show. All right, you had the post?
Yeah, I got the post right here. So it was on Texas Dove Hunters. And this is the reason that we're happy we did what we did. So it says, do not use this outfitter, name unsaid, in this town, unsaid in Texas, or this particular person, unsaid.
Damn, they're putting them on blast.
Yeah, on blast. Said he's a terrible guy, a liar, a terrible business person. First, his business is not legitimate, and he's not registered. He knowingly dropped a group of us off in a cow pasture, loudly stating that he knew there were no birds among any of the fields. I'm not going to read everything, but that's just step one.
That's
right?
The gist.
So he takes them in there. He takes the money. He drops them off, and he says, "I know we don't have any birds." Why would you do that?
Wow.
He provided photos of lodging. Was not all that was provided. Upon arrival, our group found rodent droppings throughout the shack. It wasn't even
even lodging.
Wasn't even lodging. Mold growing in the bathroom. Spiders covering the walls. So I think.
I mean, there was probably a little bit of attention needed on their amenities, but
there's two sides of every story. I mean, do I think that this is as bad as what it may be said in here? Maybe not, but we understand as hunters, like, sometimes if you go to a place, like, you're just getting a place to rest your head,
Sure,
like,
you can expect to kind of dust some cobwebs off the wall.
Yeah,
I'm all right
don't
with
look
that.
for the Taj Mahal. But long story short, what we're getting at is, don't try to take advantage of people.
I think that's what we need to talk about, is like,
and communicate. They go on in here to talk about how there was no communication prior to, and that made me feel good about what we did. We did the 4 week. I think we did, 4 week, a 3 week, and we pulled the plug at the 2 week.
That's right.
Just letting folks know. So, and that was our first year that we were.
This was a big deal for us, man. We were looking forward to do this event because it was Cast and Blast, fishing and hunting all in one area with our group of people that wanted to come out and have a good time with us.
The way that this person wrote this, and in the groups of a broad span that he put them in, that can ruin an outfitter, at least for probably a few years or longer, I'm sure,
Right.
So a little simple communication and some honesty.
Yeah, it goes a long way.
Of not taking advantage of people. And that's,
And with that said, I mean, we had a lot of positive feedback from the people that were, and we gave everybody 100% refund of their deposits.
Yep.
Got everybody taken care of. First and foremost, hey, we're going to cancel this event. So it wasn't like we just canceled and took money. We canceled and gave everybody full refund. And not only that, people were like, man, that says a lot about you guys and how you're doing things, So, well, man, I think we're having some technical difficulties. It sounds that way. So I think we cut this off here, cut it short. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. We're doing our best to kind of work around it, try to see if we can save a little bit of this content because we're having fun. We're just hanging out, talking to you guys. Again, if you have any questions for us for other podcasts, if you have any topics you want us to cover, definitely let us know in the comments. You can find us send us an email at info@castandblastoutfitters.com. Hope you guys are enjoying
this. Hit us up on Facebook.
Message us, anything you can get to us on any social media platform we have. We're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. You can hit us up at Messenger. Our numbers are on there and everything. You can contact us.
And check us out there because we put some a little additional content on there from time to time too, some fun stuff. So if you're not checking us out there, go ahead and do so.
Yeah, man. So hope you enjoyed this podcast, man. Jimmy and I are going to sign out, and what's on the agenda for today? We can go out there and do some more work, huh?
Do some more work.
Yeah, we got to get out there. Man, I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Pinche Ben, Jimmy signing out. Peace.